All right. Welcome, everybody, to the next game in the Demolition League. We are at day two. We finished day one, and now we're at day two. If I can get this thing straight up. Tabby kind of got into this earlier, so got to readjust it to be where I need it to be. I think that'll work just fine. Notice here at PNC Park, we have not put in the ballpark effects yet because I'm going to roll for those. It's for weather. So we're looking at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. It is a night game, and it's going to be in the April-May category. All the things for the Demolition League are April-May. So Pittsburgh, April-May, night game right here. 1 to 4 is good weather, 5 to 13 is average, and 14 to 20 is bad. All right, it's an 11, so we got average weather. So average weather says that singles are 1 to 16 and 1 to 13. So 1 to 13. And average home runs, we're going to be 8 and 5. So those are the effects at PNC Park. Hello, Mr. Robert RJL. And since I was told that I had misspelled Skip Schumacher's name, I made a new envelope for the Marlins. And now I do have his proper spelling on that. And I used the old envelope to put the minor league players in. All right, speaking of minor league players, we had 2 call-ups in this game. And actually for the whole league, we had a call-up, 1 for every team. Because when I set these up, I did 13 position players and 12 pitchers with 5 starters and 7 relievers. But early in the season, we don't need a 5th starter. So I'm going with 1 less pitcher and 1 more position player. So we're going to have 14 guys on the position player list, 11 pitchers, 4 starters, 7 relievers. So the Yankees are going to add a guy named Jason Dominguez. He only played 56 games, but he's going to be added to the roster. And Nick Gonzalez is going to be added for the Pirates. So both teams now and all teams in the league will have 14 position players and 11 pitchers going forward until we get to the point where we start needing 5th starters. Chuck, what did I misspell? Did I misspell something? Don't tell me I misspelled PNC Park. That couldn't happen, right? All right, so technically the Yankees, I forgot to write this in, they're 1-0, and Pittsburgh is 0-1. Remember, Pittsburgh pitchers walked 15 Yankee batters last game. The Yankees whitewashed them 8-0. So the Pirates are looking for better game, and they have Bailey Falter on the mound in start number 2. He is 8-9 with a 4.43 ERA and 28 starts. So he will get the nod for the Pirates. And starting for the Yankees will be left-hander Carlos Rodon. He was 16-9 with a 3.96 ERA. I looked it up, and interestingly enough, the Pirates in real world in the start of the season, I think they faced, it was either 5 or 6 consecutive left-handed starting pitching. The whole Marlins series, all 4 games in the Marlins series, they faced lefties. And the first game against the Nationals, they faced a lefty. So I had to go to like the 6th game to find where they face a right-hander. So when the Yankees finally use a right-hander, I'll have a lineup. But this is the lineup Pittsburgh used against the lefty. So that's what I'm going with. These are not my own made-up lineups. The first series, I decided I'm going to let the regular managers in real world determine the lineups are just about the lineups. Something that starts with P. What did I misspell? I don't know. What did I misspell? Not Pittsburgh. What else is there to misspell? I'm lost. All right. Anyway, if anything's misspelled, so be it. This is not a spelling bee. All right. So we got a Pittsburgh colored dice. Bailey Falter is finishing his warm-up tosses. He is a +3 hold factor when combined with Davis, the catcher, who's a +2. His +1 makes it a +3. Rodon's a +1, as Wells is -1, and Rodon is +2. Why instead of B? I'm really lost now. I have no clue. Don't have the foggiest idea. Not the foggiest idea. So we will move on, and if something's misspelled, I don't care. Oh, in the title. Okay, when the title I'm typing, that's a typo. That's not a misspelling. That's a typo. Yes, thank you, Tim. Yes, that's a typo. That's not a misspelling. That's a typo. There's a difference. I know how to spell Pittsburgh. I know how to spell Pirates, but I could type it wrong as a typo. So that's the difference. I will correct it when the thing is over. Fortunately, it was spelled close enough that you guys knew what I was doing. So that's the important thing. So anyway, thank you, Chuck, Ernest, RJL, and Tim Cleat Baseball Man. Tabby is right beside me on the perch. I'm hoping she stays there and just enjoys herself and not interrupt the game. I don't really want a kitty delay. Now for the Pirates, since they got whitewashed last game, they had 3 pitchers that pitched 2 innings of relief. So these 3 guys, Josh Fleming, Ryder Ryan, and Hunter Stratton, are unavailable today. So they have a 3-man bullpen. They've got Colin Holderman, David Bednar, and Aroldis Chapman. If we run through all the pitchers and you had to use one of these guys, I will. But to try to be realistic, they just pitched 2 innings. I don't want to bring them back unless it's an emergency. All right, so Gleyber Torres will lead things off for the Yankees. And we're underway. It's a 2-7 against the righty. He's going to fly to center field. That's hauled in by Michael Taylor, 1 away. That will bring up Juan Soto. By the way, Pittsburgh has a catcher that is probably the worst defensive catcher I've seen ever. Davis is a 5 with a +2 arm. I don't think I've ever seen that before. 5 and a +2 arm, and he's a throwing error of 6. So I don't think I've ever seen a 5 catcher before, or if I have, it's been a while. It's been like Kyle Schwarber or somebody. Not somebody that was a starting catcher pretty much. All right, here's Juan Soto. He played left field last game, playing right field this game because I'm going by the Yankees lineup. This is the lineup the Yankees used against the first right-handed pitcher they faced. I believe that was Christian Javier of Houston in Game 2. So this is their Game 2 starting lineup in real world. Soto, 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball second base X. We are looking at Triolo. He's a 2E4. I need to get my charts out. 2E4. That is a 5. 2 and a 5 should still be okay. It's a G3, so that's good. Second base E4 and a 6. There's no 6, so it's a good play for Triolo. And it's 2 up and 2 down, and that'll bring up Aaron Judge, who's in center field tonight instead of right field like he was in the first game. That's a 5-7, and he will strike out. And that will end the inning. So Yankees go quietly in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Yankees nothing, and Pirates coming to bat. And Carlos Rodon on the mound, 16-9, 396 earned run average in 32 starts in the 24 season. He'll be facing Connor Joe, the first baseman. Connor Joe. 6'4", and that's going to be a fly ball center field X. That is going to be Judge. He's a 3E0. He cannot make an error. We're just checking it. We don't need the D6s. All we need is the D20. He's a 3, and that's a 15. He'll make the catch. 1 away. Brings up Brian Reynolds, the right fielder. He played left field in the first game. 4-9. He's a switch hitter batting right-handed. 4-9 is a strikeout. Strikeout number 1 for Rodon. Here's Key Brian Hayes at third base. 5-7 to the right-hander. Struck him out. So Rodon has 2 strikeouts, and that's going to end the inning. Pirates go quietly. It is no score after 1. All right. That will bring up Anthony Rizzo. 5-9, and that's a strikeout for Falter. his second strikeout. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts in the game, period. And here's the DH, Giancarlo Stanton. 1-3, and that's a ballpark single check. It is a 1-13. That's an 11 base hit for Giancarlo Stanton. PNC Park was kind to Mr. Stanton. And that'll bring up left fielder Alex Verdugo. Nothing on the Havoc. 6'4", left-handed. Fly ball center field X. We are looking at Taylor. He's a 1E6. 1-12. He'll get to it with no advance by the runner. And now we need, let's see, I've got the 2 of the defensive sheets. Where did the third one go? Third one get buried somewhere? There it is, way over here. The outfielder sheets are way over here. Okay, so 1-12 is an F2, so the runner can't move up. That's a 13, and he is an E6 center fielder. And there is no 13, so it's a good play for Michael Taylor. 2 down. And that'll send up Anthony Volpe. Nothing on the Havoc. 1-6, and that's a strikeout for Volpe. 3 strikeouts for Falter after 2 innings, and we got no score. Pirates hanging tough, but they can't score any runs. They've gone 10 innings with scoring no runs against the Yankee pitching. Here is the designated hitter, Edward Olivares. 1-9 to the lefty. That's a ballpark blast. It's only 1-5, though, and that's a 16, so a deep fly to left, but not deep enough, and Verdugo puts it away. Here's Henry Davis and his 5+2 catcher card. He did not play in Game 1. It's his first at bat of the season, and he will draw a base on balls. How about that? Draws the walk. First walk issued by Rodon. Davis will not go anywhere, and here's O'Neal Cruz, the shortstop. 1-6, and that's a 1-7 double. That's a no, so he will fly to center. Judge puts it away. 2 down for Jared Triolo, second baseman. That's a 2, chance of a balk or pass ball. We're looking at a balk chance on Rodon. His balk rating is a 4. No balk. 3-9, left-handed. 1-8's a home run. That's the 15, though, so it's a deep fly to right, but not deep enough. And the Pirates come away empty-handed again. We played 2, no score. I'm PNC. Oh, I wish I could move the webcam over without screwing it up, but Tabby is a sight to see right now, the way she's sitting. Very interesting. I might try it anyway. Just indulge me for just a second, see if I can get this to where she is at. I don't know if I can or not. There she is, kind of right there. You can see where she's right there, where my laptop is. She's right here on this perch. So there she is. She is my accompaniment to the ball game. Right, Tabby? There you are. There you are, Tabby. Oh, yeah, okay. That's enough, Tabby. We got to get back to the game now. Now that I messed up my whole setup, so I got to. That's all because of you, Tabby. Just remember that it's all because of you. But I'm thankful because Tabby lets me play. So I have to remember that. I remember the quote that Robert gave me a while back, said dogs have owners and cats have staff. And I do believe that to be true. All right, so I'm her staff. I wait on her beck and call. Here is Austin Wells to lead things off. 2-7, right-handed, struck him out. 4th strikeout for Falter. Now the Yankees are doing what the Pirates did yesterday and not being able to put bat on ball. Here's Cabrera, third baseman, 6'6", switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball to second. Triolo will handle it. And quickly, 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees. And Gleyber Torres, who flew to center his first chance, will be up. 3-8 against the right-hander. That's another strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Bailey Falter. Never heard of Bailey. You know what? He's left-handed. I've been reading him as a right-hander. Oh, boy, have I been screwing this up. I just noticed that. Man, I just noticed that. Nobody caught it. I just noticed that. 3-8 for Torres is still going to be a strikeout against. I got to remember Bailey Falter's a lefty. I had been reading some of these cards for the Yankees from the right-hand side, so I got to remember both starters are a lefty. I was thinking Falter was a righty. See, I don't know these players, so I just assumed he was a right-hander. I know Rodon. I knew he was a lefty because I've heard of him before. So I got to get that straight. Nothing with Jack Barry? I hope so. Oh, Barry did mention it? Did I not? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. I don't see it in the chat anywhere. Only thing I had in there is that I misspelled Pittsvurgh on the title, but that's about it. But yeah, so everything's coming off the blue now. Just got to remember, think blue. Everything's off the blue now for the batters. So, all right, Michael Taylor, the batter. 6'11". That's a ground ball pitcher. X Rodon is a 4E0. So he can't make an error, but that 4 might not get to it. 4 and a 12, he should. I don't think that's a problem. But you never know. Have to check it to be official. 4 and a 12 is a G3, so nope, no problem there. He makes the play, 1 away. And here comes Zawinski. 5-9, and that's going to be a strikeout. 2 down. 3rd strikeout for Rodon. I'll have to go back and watch this later, the first 2 innings, and see if it screwed anything up by doing the lefty-righty thing. So, see, that's something. Maybe I should play basic, and I don't have to worry about it. How about that? No, thank you. 2-7 for Connor Joe is a base on balls. Base on balls. And Connor Joe is not going to go anywhere. Here's Brian Reynolds. 1-5 against the lefty. That's a double, 1-10. That'll be 2-star double. Joe stops at first base. Pirates on the threat of scoring their first run of the season, as they were shut out last time, but it's a clutch situation for Ke'Bryan Hayes, and he loses 2 hits, 2-7 and 2-9. So he's got to avoid those. Oh, we got a hop and dice. Let's re-roll that. 5-2 against a right-hander for Rodon's a ground ball second base X Torres. 4E19. Nobody's being held, so he keeps the 4. But that's a 4, and that could be problems. 4 and a 4 is most assuredly going to be a base hit, and that'll be the first Pirate run of the season. Probably first 2 Pirate runs of the season. Yep, single 2 stars. So both runs will score. 2-run single from Ke'Bryan Hayes, and the Pirates lead it 2-0. Now we're checking the error on Torres. He's a 19, and that's an 11. As a second baseman, E19, there is no 11. So no error, but a 2-run single off the bat of Ke'Bryan Hayes, and the Pirates strike first blood. Here's Olivares. Hey, Colin, how are you doing? It's a 1-9 against the lefty. That's a ballpark blast for Olivares. It's a 1-5. That's a 19, so he will fly to left to end the inning. But the Pirates strike first and take a 2-0 lead. I would say raise the Jolly Roger, but I think they do that when the game is over. And there's something about a cannonball when they hit a home run, but I don't know all their calls. I've vaguely heard them before. But I think when you hit a single that scores 2 runs, they don't really say anything. All right, so here is Juan Soto. You know, you're right. Thank you for that. Messing around with stuff and not paying attention to what I was doing. Let me get the correction tape. Thank you very much for that, Kevin, for catching that. I'm going to go back and put this game in the Strat computer after the game is over. I want to be accurate. All right, so Juan Soto is up to the plate. He grounded to short his first time up. I got to remember, Falter's a lefty, so everything on the Yankee batters is coming off the blue. 3-5, left-handed, ground ball to second. So it would have been a strikeout against a righty, but against a lefty, just a ground out. There's 1 away, and that brings up the Judge, Aaron Judge. Hey, Jimmy Jam. 1-5 for Judge, and that's a straight up home run right there, no doubt about it. As my friend Jeffrey Goodman would say, clean as a baby's ass right here. No D20 needed. It's a straight out home run for Aaron Judge. His first home run of the replay. Aaron Judge cuts the lead to 2-1. That was a no doubter. That would have been good against a left-hander or a right-hander. Both would have been good. 1-5 was good on either side of the aisle. So here's Anthony Rizzo. 3-5 for Rizzo, and he gets hit by a pitch, and there's a possible injury. Rizzo, so how about that? You get a hit by a pitch after a home run. That's a little questionable. But we're going to check for injury on Rizzo, and we'll pull out the injury chart and see what happens to Rizzo. So Rizzo, let's see here, as a batter, has that same 1-4 situation. That's a 9. I'm just gonna have missed this game. So he's gonna come out of the game, and somebody else will have to take over for Rizzo, but he will be available in the next game. But right now he does have to come out of this game. So they will need a new first baseman, and that first baseman is going to be DJ LeMahieu. He will take over at first base for the injured Rizzo. And LeMahieu is a 3E13. And he runs at a 9, same as Rizzo. So Rizzo is out, LeMahieu is in. He's on first base. LeMahieu is not going to be able to try to steal or anything. Can't get a lead. Has anybody found out what's going on with Brian B? I haven't seen him in a long time. I hope he's all right. Robert, is he in your streams? I don't know what's going on, but just hope he's doesn't have any problems or anything. All right, here's Falter to Stanton. 310 left-handed ballpark single. It's a 1-13. That's an 8. It's a base hit for Giancarlo Stanton. First and second, nobody out. Here's Alex Verdugo. Well, I just hope he's okay. That's all. All right, so Verdugo, Falter to Verdugo. 4-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. That's a possible double play if they can get a good roll. He's a 2E4. 2-11. That might do it. That just might be a G1. Let's find out. A 2-11 is a G1, so possible double play. He's an E4, and that is a 12. And that's no problem. It is a double play, 4-6-3. They turn the double play to keep from having further damage, but the home run from Judge cuts the lead to 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. So bottom of the fourth we go, and Mr. Henry Davis, the catcher, steps up to the plate. He walked his first time up. 3-5, and that's a walk. So he's going to walk again. I think he found the same role. So he didn't hit much, did Davis. He was a terrible hitter. 144 hitter, but he walked 13 times in 104 at bats. So 117 plate appearances. He walked 13 times. So I guess he gets on base a little bit. So here is O'Neal Cruz. 2-9 for Cruz, struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Rodon. 1 away. And these cards are a little sticky because they're new. Once you break them in, I don't have to worry about it. So, yes, I will agree that Strat-O-Matic cards, when you first get them, are a little sticky, but I can say that about inside pitch, payoff pitch, about any other game. When you first get the cards, until you break them in, they have a tendency to stick a little bit. All right, here's Triolo, 4-5, struck him out again. Strikeout number 5 for Rodon. And that'll bring up Michael Taylor. That's a 4-5 again, and that will be another strikeout. Strikeout number 6. So after the walk, he strikes out the side. And at the end of 4, it's still 2-1 Pirates. And my same rule still applies. Both starters max at 6 innings to start the season. I'm not going to let any pitcher go past 6 innings on their first start. Just because, to be realistic, where they're trying to break them in and their arms aren't fully extended yet. Here's Volpe. 5-9, right-handed, and that's a base on balls. So Falter will walk Volpe. That's his first walk. He hit a batter, but that's his first walk. Now Volpe has a chance to get the lead. 2 through 5 will get him the lead. He does not get the lead. So here's Austin Wells, the catcher. 1-5, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout number 6 for Mr. Falter. As Wells goes down swinging. That'll bring up Oswaldo Cabrera, I should say. 4-11, right-handed, struck him out again. Strikeout number 7 for Mr. Falter. And here is Gleyber Torres. He's 0 for 2. That's a 1, chance of a wild pitch, but his wild pitch rating is 0, so nothing going to happen there. 4-10, right-handed. Ballpark single check, 1-13. That's a base hit, 1 star. Keeps the inning going. But now it's a clutch situation for... How did he get up there so early? Clutch situation for Juan Soto. I don't know how LeMahieu got up there so quick. It is Juan Soto in the clutch against a lefty. And he is going to lose 1 hit on a 2-3. Everything else he's neutral. Lefty on lefty matchup. Hello, Dav. Oh, we got a hop and dice, so I'm going to re-roll the whole thing. 1-6 for Soto, and that's a 1-3 single. That's a 1. The double die comes up as a 1, but it's only a 1-star single, so the bases are loaded. For guess who? Aaron Judge, who homered his last time up. Game could be teetering on this 1 at bat. 1-7, and that's trouble. 1-14 is a double. That's a 6. It's a double 2 stars for Aaron Judge. That will score Volpe and Torres, and the Yankees take a 3-2 lead. Soto can only make third base on the 2-star double, but it is now 3-2 Yankees. And that brings up DJ LeMahieu. This will be his first at bat since taking over for the injured Rizzo. 2-7. LeMahieu against the left-hander is a ground ball to short to end the inning. But the big 2-run double from Judge, he has all 3 runs batted in. He's been a beast. Home run and a double, 3 runs batted in. Go to the bottom of the 5th. It's now 3-2 Yankees. And Jack Sawinski will step to the plate. 2-11, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-16, but that's a 17. Boy, the Devil Die is not treating the Pirates very well. So it will be a line out to Torres for 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Connor Joe. Hello, Clinton. 3-8. Struck him out. That is strikeout number 7. Strikeout number 7, and here comes Brian Reynolds. 5-8, switch hitter batting right-handed is a ground ball second base X. That's Torres. He's a 4E19. 4-19, he'll get to that. And he is an E19 with a 9. I think he'll be okay with that. Let's see. E19, second baseman, and a 9 is a good play. So Torres makes the play. Pirates go quietly in the 5th. And at the end of 5, it's the Yankees 3 and the Pirates 2. So this is the final inning for both starters because 6 is their cap on opening day for them. second game of the season for these teams, but opening day for these pitchers. So Falter will get his last opportunity. And here's Giancarlo Stanton. It's a 5-9, and that is a walk. Not what they wanted. Let's see here. Actually, let me take this back. 5 was his fatigue inning. He's actually fatigued now because he gave up this in his fatigue inning, so he's actually fatigued. So I may have to go to the bullpen earlier than I thought. So look at the Pirate bullpen. They do have right-hander Colin Halderman is loosening the bullpen. They're going to let Falter face the lefty Verdugo. Then after that, they will make the move to the bullpen for after he faces Volpe. So Stanton walks, and here's Verdugo. But if we get a dot, it's going to turn to a hit. Got to remember that because he did reach fatigue. Lefty on lefty, 3-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. That's just what he wanted. 6-4-3 double play. And now, maybe it's since he got the double play, they're going to let him try to finish the inning. Why not? So we'll take back this because they're running on a short bullpen, only 3 bullpen arms. So if they can extend their starter to get them completely through 6 and start the new guy on the 7th inning, they'll be much, much happier. So Falter against Volpe with the bases empty, 1-6, struck him out. So Falter stayed in there. Now he'll come out. But he stayed in there long enough to get his 7th strikeout. Actually, his 8th strikeout. He's going to go 6 innings. And let's see how many hits he's going to give up. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 hits. I'm seeing 2 walks and a hit by pitch. 3 runs, all earned. And he struck out 8. And Halderman will be the new pitcher in the top of the 7th. Halderman has a +5 arm, so that's not going to help their cause any. But right now, Rodon is going to come out. That's all for Falter. He's done. So Rodon's going to come out, and Rodon, this is his fatigue inning, number 6. He's going to face Ke'Bryan Hayes, Olivares, and Davis, the scheduled hitters. That's a 4-3. Ke'Bryan Hayes. Fly ball right field X. That's Soto. He's a 3-E2. 3-11. He'll get to that. E2 and a 12. E2 and a 12 should be okay. Whoops, wrong chart. Get the outfielder chart here. So 3-11 in the outfield is an F2. And then this is 12, and he is an E2. The only E2 is 16, 18, and 3, so 12 is fine. Good play for Soto. And Ke'Bryan Hayes is retired, just like me. All right, here is Edward Olivares. 5-9, and that is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he isn't tired yet. That's his 8th strikeout. Now, both pitchers have 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Of course, Rodon has a chance to get a 9th one here against Henry Davis. 3-8, and that's another one, so that's 9 strikeouts. And that'll do it for Rodon. 9 strikeouts for Rodon. He ends up walking he walks 2, gives up 2 runs, and hits just 2. Just these 2 hits. So that's his line. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. And the Yankees will go to their bullpen for the bottom of the 7th. Right now, the top of the 7th, and Colin Halderman. He was 3-6 with a 3.16 earned run average. And he will come on to pitch for the Pirates. He's going to face Wells, Cabrera, and Torres. Lefty switch righty. Top of the 7th, 3-2 Yankees. Like I said, a whole lot closer than the 8-0 game the previous night. 3-7 for Wells against the righty. That's going to be a base hit single for Austin Wells. He is no threat to run, so they will hold him up there. I'd like to bunt, but he's only a C bunter. I just don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I trust it. You know what? They're going to bunt. Pirates aren't expecting it because they don't think he can bunt. So the infield is back. So they're not going to. He's not going to lose anything off his C bunting. So they're going to go ahead and bunt. And the bunt will go to the first baseman, and that is Connor Joe. So he's a C bunter. So he's basically got to get 8 or less to have a good bunt. And he gets 8 right on the dot. That is a good sacrifice. So sacrifice hit. Connor Joe will just tag him coming up the line, 3 unassisted. Going to second is Wells, but a successful sacrifice bunt in 2024. 2024 season, 2025 game, but 2024 season, you saw it, a sacrifice bunt is possible. And I think even if I had played the corners in, even if I had done the corners in, I think did I roll a 5 or an 8? I think I rolled an 8. It would have been a 1-ball, 2-strike count, and he could have had another chance. But I think the Pirates on defense would have said, you know what, he ain't bunting, and they did. So, all right, here's Gleyber Torres. That's a 3-3 for Torres, and that's a foul out to keep Ryan Hayes at third base. Out number 2, and it's up to Juan Soto. First base is open, but Judge is behind him, so you're not going to walk Soto. You talk about protection. He's got it. 1-9, and he walks him unintentionally. And now you have to deal with Mr. Judge. He's homered and doubled. All 3 runs batted in belong to Judge. 6-8, and that is a fly ball to right to end the inning. So Halderman gets out of it. He will go as 1 inning, give up a hit and a walk. No strikeouts, no runs. And now the Yankees will need a new arm for the bottom of the 7th. And we'll look at their bullpen. They used only 1 reliever in the first game, and that was Luke Weaver, who went 3 innings to save, so he's unavailable, but everybody else is fresh. So they can go to just about anybody they want. They're going to go to Ian Hamilton, who was 0-1 with a 3.82 ERA and a save. So Ian Hamilton will be the new Yankee pitcher. I know nothing about Ian Hamilton. Just going by his back of his card. He'll be facing Cruz, Triolo, and Taylor. So lefty, righty, righty. O'Neal Cruz will lead things off. 6-8 against the left-hander. It's a solid double to center field by O'Neal Cruz. He cracks a leadoff double. And that brings up Triolo. Tying run is at second base with nobody out. Hamilton getting shell-shocked with that double. Here's Triolo. 4-6, and he comes back with a strikeout. That's the 10th strikeout by the Pirates in this game. I believe they struck out 14 times in the first game. Here's Michael Taylor. That's a 2, so chance of a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a balk chance, but 0 balk rating for Ian Hamilton. And they may pinch hit for Taylor here. I think they will. Now that the right-hander is in the ball game, they can go to the bench. And they have the new guy, Nick Gonzalez, they can choose from. They have Andrew McCutchen. They have Aquila Williams. And they have Rowdy Tellez. And backup catcher Joey Bart. So who do you go to? Tellez is the only lefty. But who has the better average? And let's see, Taylor's in center. So who would they get to play center is the other question. Well, they could move Connor Joe to right and move Zawinski. Move Reynolds to left, Connor Joe to right, and move Zawinski to center. They could do that. So they're going with Rowdy Tellez, a left-hander. He's going to pinch hit for Taylor. And we'll do some finagling in the top of the 8th. Rowdy Tellez, one of my favorite names, Rowdy Tellez. I don't know what his real name is, but I know his mother didn't name him Rowdy. So, hello, Mr. Goodman. Good to see you. 3-2 Yankees. Here in the bottom of the 7th, 1 out. And pinch hitting for Michael Taylor is Rowdy Tellez, left-hander. That's a 2-4, and that's a fly ball to left, and that's going to be out number 2. So Tellez fails, but he will stay in the game to play first base. So Tellez will stay here and play first base. Connor Joe says we'll do this at the other inning. Connor Joe actually going to go to left field, and that'll take care of that. We can leave Reynolds where he is. So Sawinski will go to center field. Sawinski will go from left to center. Tellez will take over at first. Connor Joe will go from first to left. That's the way they'll play it. 2 outs. Jack Sawinski, the batter. Clutch situation. And let's see, in the clutch, he loses a hit on 3-12. Everything else, he's neutral. That's a 2-2, and that's a, look at this. In your honor, Mr. Gudeman, clean as a baby's ass right there, 2-2. Can't get any cleaner than that. 2-2, Jack Sawinski against the right-hander, clean as a baby's you-know-what. And Jack Sawinski hits a 2-run homer off of Ian Hamilton to put the Pirates in the lead, 4-3. Jack Sawinski, 2-run bomb off of Ian Hamilton. Look at it again, 2-2, no doubter. All in bold letters there. So Jack Sawinski, 2-run homer. Pirates now lead it 4-3. Connor Joe, 2-3, and that is a hit by pitch. Wow. And Ian Hamilton is gone. Ian Hamilton has been ejected. Hit by pitch after a big 2-run homer, he is automatically going to be ejected. And the Yankees are probably glad he's ejected anyway because he wasn't very effective. He's going to go 2/3 of an inning, and he's going to give up 2 hits and 2 runs. Still responsible for the hit by pitch. No walks and a strikeout. So with Brian Reynolds coming up, the Yankees will go to their bullpen for somebody else. Reynolds is a switch hitter. Let's see here who they want to go to. They're going to go to a left-hander, Victor Gonzalez. Gonzalez was 2-1 with a 3.86 ERA and 2 saves. So Victor Gonzalez will be in. And he only has to face 1 batter. If he gets Reynolds out and the inning's over, that 3-batter rule goes away. That's only for continual innings. Once you change innings, it doesn't matter because it's a timing factor. And when the inning's over, it's irrelevant. All right, here's Brian Reynolds. Let's see if Connor Joe can get a lead. He cannot. So Brian Reynolds is your batter. Gonzalez to Reynolds. 5-10, right-handed, ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So he gets out of it. He gets the 1 out he needed to get out of the inning. That's all for Gonzalez. He did his job. But Sawinski did his job too, and the Pirates lead it 4-3 as we go to the top of the 8th, and new pitcher for the Pirates will be right-hander David Bednar. Bednar, 3-8 with a 5.77 ERA, but 23 saves for Mr. Bednar. He kind of split time with Chapman as a closer. I think Chapman closed early till they traded him, then Bednar started getting some saves. But they're going to give him a shot. He's a +9 hold, so that +5 is not good. But we'll see what happens. He's going to face LeMahieu, Stanton, and Verdugo for the Yankees. Bednar, 6'6", right-handed, 1-10 is a double. That's a 17. It'll be a leadoff single for David Bednar. For LeMahieu, rather. And he is no threat to run. But he's on base. A tying runs on base for Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a walk. That's a 2-8 for Stanton. He's going to strike him out. Big strikeout for Bednar. And that'll bring up Alex Verdugo, the left-hander. That's a 1. Wild pitch chance on Bednar is a 7. And it's a 9, so it's going to be blocked there by Davis. Verdugo will swing it 5-5. Ground ball shortstop X. Ground ball shortstop X. LeMahieu is not being held, so Cruz will keep his 4E36 as bad as it is. You want him to go to a 5. 4 and a 16. Devil Die helps him out. 4 and a 16. He might get out of this. Might even get a double play out of this. 4 and a 16. Nope, it's a G2. So he'll get the force as long as there's no error. That's a 10, and he is an E36 at shortstop. E36, there's no 10, so it'll be a G2 ground out, 6-4. They do get the force play. New runner is Verdugo, and he can't worry about stealing in either. He doesn't really have any speed. Stole 2 bases in real world and got caught once. So with 2 outs, they're going to trust Anthony Volpe, I guess, to see what they can do. Volpe, a 243 hitter. They will let him hit against Bednar. Bednar to Volpe. 4-11, and that's right-handed. Fly ball, right field X, and that is the right fielder Reynolds. He's a 4 E2. The E2 is not a problem. The 4 might be. 4 and a 13. I think he'll catch a break. 4 and a 13. Barely. F1. So, but he does get to it. That's a 15, but he's only an E4. I'm sorry, an E2. So 15, E2, a 16, but not a 15. If he was an E3 or E4, it'd been an error, but not on E2. So nice running catch there by Reynolds to save the inning. And the Yankees go quietly in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We'll get a new pitcher for the Yankees. And coming up is Hayes, Olivares, and Davis, 3 right-handers. So the Yankees will most likely go to a right-hander of their own. And let's see who that's going to be. It is going to be Tommy Kahnle. Kahnle is 0-2, but a 2.11 earned run average and 1 save. So Tommy Kahnle is on to face Ke'Bryan Hayes, Olivares, and Davis. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Pirates. They lost 8-0 yesterday, so trying to get payback and even the series. 4-7, and that's a 1-5 double. 13, though, is a fly to center, and that's 1 away. Here's Olivares, the designated hitter. He's 0-3. 4-2, right-handed, ground ball to short, and Volpe over to LeMahieu for quickly 2 away, and here's Henry Davis. 3-9 for Davis, struck him out. That's going to end the inning. So Kahnle does his job, goes 1 inning with a strikeout, gives up nothing. And now we go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Pirates, for the Yankees rather. Bednar went 1 inning, gave up a hit, got a strikeout, nothing else. And Aroldis Chapman's going to come on and pitch and try to get the save. Left-hander Aroldis Chapman, former Yankee, was 5-5, 3.79 earned run average and 14 saves before he was traded, I think, to Houston or somebody in the American League, I think, got him. Not sure. For the Yankees, it's Wells, Cabrera, and Torres, but they do have bench players. They have Trent Grisham, Jose Trevino, and John Birdie that they could go to. And also Jason Dominguez, the new call-up. Let's get him as well, but I don't think he's much of a hitter. Jason Dominguez, 179, not much of a hitter. But against the lefty Chapman, they could go with their other catcher, Trevino. Wells hits 229. Trevino hits 215, but he is right-handed. So they will go with Trevino to pinch hit for Wells. Wells is 1-for-3 with a strikeout. So they will go with Jose Trevino as a pinch hitter. And if they tie the game or take the lead, Trevino will come in and stay in the game and catch in the 9th. Right now he is in. And they may get a pinch hitter for Cabrera as well. They will. John Birdie's going to hit for Cabrera. He's a better hitter, 273. So we're going to have back-to-back pinch hitters. We're going to have Trevino and Birdie. And Birdie would also stay in the game and play third base. So 2 pinch hitters to start off the ball game start off the ninth for the Yankees against Aroldis Chapman. Chapman a 0 hold, so it's a +2. And we're ready to start the top of the ninth. Pirates hanging on to a 4-3 lead. Mr. Goodeman, you would be amazed at what goes through my mind and probably shocked. And I got some weird stuff going through my mind, these thought processes, but I don't know. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. We will see. Trevino, the pinch hitter. 4-3, right-handed, fly ball, right field X. And that's going to be the right fielder Reynolds, a 4-E2. 4-15. The double die has been kind here the last couple of times for the Pirates. 4-15. 4-15 is an F2. Good enough. That's a 9, and he's only an E2, so that's not a problem. Reynolds will make the catch. 1 away. And that'll send up the second pinch hitter, John Birdie. Birdie on the season was a 273 hitter. Only had 66 at bats, but 273 is 273. He's got a good column 2 against lefties. So he's going to see what he can do here against Mr. Chapman. 1-8, and it's a ground ball to short. 2 down. So both pinch hitters fail. And it's all up to Gleyber Torres to keep it going. Or Aroldis Chapman will collect the save, and the Pirates will even the series. 4-11, right-handed. That's a double to right field for Gleyber Torres. So it ain't over yet, as they say. Gleyber Torres with a double. 4-11, right-handed, a double. And that brings up Juan Soto, the dangerous Juan Soto. He can hit lefties, no problem. So Chapman has to be careful. 3-7, but he flies to center, and that's the ball game as put away by Zawinski. And the Pirates, after being embarrassed in Game 1, come back and win Game 2. Chapman gets his first save. The win will go to Falter. I'm sorry, no, it won't go to Falter. It'll go to Holderman because he pitched the 7th and was credited with those 2 runs. So Holderman 1-0 with the win. The loss will go to Hamilton. He's 0-1. Let's get the line here for Chapman. He gave up 1 hit, but nothing else. So final line score, Pirates, 4 runs on just 4 hits, but they made them count. The double and the home run, you get those extra base hits, that's what counts. They had 4 hits, and they did it in 2 innings. They got 2 hits in the 3rd and 2 hits in the 7th. Nothing else the rest of the way, but when you bunch them together instead of scatter them around, it makes a difference. Pirates only left 2 guys on base the whole night. I'm sorry, three players on base. Yankees left a lot more, I assure you. All right, so 4 runs, 4 hits. I don't believe there's an error on either side. I don't recall an error coming up on either side. Yankees 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Yankees left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They left on 8, and the Pirates left on 3. So now, Pittsburgh 1-1, Yankees 1-1. The series has been evened at a game apiece. I like this nice tight. Well, if you saw the 8-0 game, Jeffrey, yesterday with 14 walks by the Pirates, you might be singing a different tune. It's just the game. This game made me look good because it was so close. So as we look into Game 3, and I have decided to go back to doing the original 54 games. I'm not going to truncate this because if I'm mainly doing this and just doing a little bit of 87 on the side, I can get this done by February. So as long as I stay focused and don't try to come up with 3 other projects to do at the same time. So I mean, I still do the game of the week on Saturday, but that's just a one-day thing, and that's only going to be until first part of October. So then after that, I'll be freed up again. So pitching in the third game of the series for the Yankees will be Marcus Stroman, a right-hander for the Yankees, and pitching in the third game for the Pirates will be left-hander Martin Perez. He will later get traded to San Diego, but he is going to start for the Pirates. So that'll be the pitching matchup in Game 3 when that comes around. And Jeffrey, you missed it earlier, but Tabby is right here next to me. So I did move the. Let me see if I can do it again, just for you. I'll move this over a little bit. You can see Tabby sitting right where my hand is, right here, petting her. There she is. There she is, on her little perch. She sits on this perch right next to me, and she's like the Strat-O-Matic mascot for me, I guess. But anyway. Now, when I do that, I got to move everything, and now I got to fix everything. That's a pain sometimes. Let's see if I can get this over and have it where it's not angled. Okay, I think that's pretty good right there. I tell you what, folks, it's only 9 o'clock. If you guys are up for it, I'm in a Ernie Banks kind of mood of let's play 2. So if you guys are up for it, I will be glad to play 2. I've got a game already set up, ready to go. Not this game, not the Yankee game, but another game. So if you guys are up for it, I will be glad to do it. That is I'm going, way I was doing it in the order is East Coast to West Coast. So 3 of the 5 games are in California, in San Diego, LA, and Oakland. Only 2 games that are not in California, this one in Pittsburgh and the other one in Minnesota. So if I move my score sheet and flip it over, move my tape out of the way, I've got Miami and Minnesota ready to go. It's going to be A.J. Puck for the Marlins, a left-hander, against Joe Ryan for the Twins. Now, one thing with the Twins roster, since in real life, that third baseman of theirs got hurt on opening day and was gone for 2 months, I took him off the roster and put Miranda in his place. So let me get these guys, these Pirate guys, out of the way, and then we can move on to Game 2. I don't want any leftover people hanging around, so let's get all these guys out of here. And we will get to some baseball at Target Field. And I'll have to roll for the weather effects on Target Field as well. And I got to change dice because I don't want to use Pirate dice. As far as I know, I'm going to stay on the same broadcast, Jeffrey. I'll edit the title since I got to edit the title anyway because I misspelled Pittsburgh, I will edit the title to put on there doubleheader. So, and I'll put the teams on there and everything. So, no, I'm not going to have a separate stream or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and get moving. Now, Tabby's making noise. She might want to go out of the room, so I might have a minute or so delay to get ready. As you can see, I did recreate the Miami envelope to properly spell Skip Schumacher this time. And, of course, the Twins with Rocco Baldelli. Tabby wants to leave temporarily. She may come back at any moment, but she wants to go out here now. So maybe one game is all she could take. I don't know, or she might be hungry, or who knows. So while I'm up, I'm going to change out these yellow dice for red dice. And that's kind of the default dice in Strat-O-Matic, in my opinion. The ones that look the best, red, white, and the black. So that's the dice we will be using. And again, these are as played lineups, so I don't have to figure out. It's as played of the game. They didn't play each other, but they used it in the second game against the other opponents. So, well, actually, the Twins used this, I think, in the next game against the left-handers, probably about the 5th or 6th game of the season. But it was against the left-handers, so that's what they used it for. And Miami used this in their game against the Pirates when they played a right-hander. So that's what we're going with. When I did this game the first time, I used my own lineups, and it was chaos. So I thought I'd try to be more proficient this time and use the as played, and hopefully that helps. I don't know. I may need to go get some more juice to drink. I'm trying to drink this like Crystal Light stuff. Wet my whistle here. Okay. I think I can move on now. All right. So as I said in the first game, all teams, their 5th starter is going to the minor leagues, and we're going to have an extra bench player. So each team is going to have 14 position players, 11 pitchers. I try to start 13 and 12, but realize that the 5th starter is not really going to come up very often, at least early on. So for the Marlins, the person they called up was Otto Lopez. He had 403 at-bats for them. He got called up in late April. So we're going to use Lopez as their 14th position player. And on the mound for the Marlins is left-hander A.J. Puck. He will go to Arizona later. But he was 4-9 with a 3.15 ERA. He had 4 starts and 3 saves. So I'm not sure. I think he started with the Marlins and maybe relieved with Arizona. I'm not sure 100%. But that's what we'll go with. And we move on now to the Twins. And Joe Ryan will get the start for the Twins, a right-hander. So Puck's the left-hander, and Ryan is the right-hander. And let's see, for the Twins, there were a couple of different activities done. One, because of that injury, like I said, Miranda got called up because of the injury to the third baseman, and I forgot his name off the top of my head, but he got injured in real world during the opening day game. So I'm taking him out, and he didn't come back till June, so we'll wait on him. Also, the 14th player the Twins called up was Austin Martin, an outfielder. He had 233 at-bats, hit 253. And he's in the starting lineup in left field for this game against A.J. Puck. And the pitcher, Joe Ryan, right-hander, 7-7, 3.60 earned run average. And we are ready to go. I got these guys all out of the way. Only thing I got to do now is the ballpark effects. We are doing weather in Minnesota, Target Field. It is a night game in the April-May block, so we're in the far right-hand column. 1 to 3 is good. 4 to 12 is normal. 13 to 20 is bad. That's a normal day, or normal night, I should say. So 1 to 11 for singles for both. And then for home runs, Minnesota, 11 for lefties, 8 for righties. So that's what they will do. This is going to be game number 7 in the Demolition League. Game 7 of, 200 and something? I think we figured out. Let's see here. So Ryan will finish his warm-up tosses. There you see the starting lineups for both teams. Let's see. Ryan has a 0 hole with his catcher. Puck's a -2. All right. Here we go. Joe Ryan to Luis Arias. It's a 3-10, and that's going to be a single, leadoff single for Arias. And he is not going to be – he stole 9 bases. He got caught 3 times. They will hold him, but he won't try anything. Here's Josh Bell, first baseman. He DH'd in the first game. He is a 5-rated fielder at first base. That's a 1-6, and that's going to be a ground ball second base for a 4-6-3 twin killing, although the Twins are the one doing the killing as they took out the Marlins. They had base runners, 2 for the price of 1. And here's Brian De La Cruz. He had 2 home runs in the first game. 5-7, and that's a strikeout for Ryan. And so he was pumped up by that double play and gets out of it no problem. We go to the bottom of the first. It is the Marlins nothing, Twins coming to bat. And left-hander A.J. Puck will be on. He's got a 6 wild pitch and a 5 balk rating. And leading off will be Manuel Margot. I had him batting 9th in the first game. He's hitting leadoff in this game. 310 against the lefty. It's a 1-18 double. There you go. A double for Manuel Margot, former Tampa Bay Ray. Might have been former somebody else. I remember him with Tampa Bay, though. All right, here's Carlos Correa. 2 on the havoc roll, so possible balk or pass ball. We are checking the balk, and he's a 5 balk rating this Puck. And it's a 4, so he will balk, and Margot will go to third. So Margot's at third. Nobody out. Infield has come in. Correa the batter. 111, and that's a ballpark blast for Carlos Correa. It's a 1-8, and that's a 4. It is long, and it is gone. Carlos Correa, home run on the ballpark blast. 1-11, ballpark blast. It's an 8. A D20 is a 4. It is a 2-run shot for Carlos Correa. And A.J. Puck is pitching like A.J. Yuck right now. It's 2-0 Twins early on. Hello, Tony. Oh, Margot with Padre. Okay, cool. Here's Jeffers, DH, 410. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Tim Anderson. Remember, long-time White Sox. I remember being on the White Sox. 3 E24, 3-12. Should be just fine for a shortstop. 3 and a 12 is a G2, no problem. He's an E24, and that is a 12. E24, there's no 12, so good play for Tim Anderson. And Jeffers is retired. That'll bring up Byron Buxton, center fielder. Whoa, sorry about bumping that. Didn't mean to do that. Let's get this back over here. We can see the whole tray. All right, 210. Buxton against Puck struck him out. First strikeout for Puck. I guess if you're a WWE fan, we can call him CM Puck. Here's Jose Miranda. 312 to the lefty, hit by the pitch. So he gets plunked. Gets called up, and then first thing that happens to him is he gets hit. Says, thanks a lot. Here's Kyle Farmer. Farmer. 210. Left-handed. It's a single 2 stars. That will keep the inning going. And Marlins might be going to their bullpen early and often the way Puck is pitching. Here's Vasquez. He did not play in the first game. Did pinch hit, but did not start. 5-10, ground ball third base X. We are looking at Berger. He's a 4E32. 4 and a 3. That's going to get through for a base hit. And probably 2 stars at least. And it is single 2 stars. So that will score Miranda. Well, he was already on third. He would have scored anyway. Farmer will go to third. And Vasquez gets a base hit. We're checking errors. He's an E13. That's a 13. He's an E32. There is a 13, so it'll be an error on top of it to add insult to injury. So now Farmer will come around to score. As part of that error, Vasquez will take third or take second. So 4-0 for the Twins here in the first inning. Maybe the Marlins weren't ready for this double dip. Caught them off guard. Here's Carlos Santana, the veteran. 6-4. And that's a fly to center to finally end the inning. But an Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning puts the Twins in front 4-0. And Joe Ryan has been given a huge lead to protect. And Puck may be on a short leash for the Marlins. So Jazz Chisholm, who will later get traded to the Yankees, is stepping up. 5-5, left-handed, struck him out. Second strikeout for Ryan. Brings up Jake Berger. 1-3, and that's a ballpark single check. 1 to an 11, but that's a 12. That's the kind of night it's going to be for the Marlins, apparently. That's a fly to left, 2 down. For Jesus Sanchez. 4-10, and that's a ground ball to second. Easy play for Farmer. Another 1-2-3 for the Marlins. Go to the bottom of the second. Still 4-0. Now, the only guy to not bat in the first inning is going to be Austin Martin. He just got called up due to the injury. Well, actually, not due to the injury, due to the roster expansion of batters. So he had 233 at-bats and hit 253 real world. Center fielder and left fielder, playing left field in this game. 6-7, and he's going to draw a base on balls from Puck. That's actually the first walk by A.J. Puck. And he's got a chance to get a lead, 4 through 6. Will get him the lead. Does not get the lead. He will hold. And here's Margot. He doubled and scored his first time up. 1-3, and that's a ground ball short. I'm sorry, 2-3. 1-3 is a foul to the catcher, Bethencourt. Forgot to write that he was the catcher. He is the catcher. And there's one away for Carlos Correa. Hello, Dr. D. 4-5, and that's a strikeout. So maybe Puck is turning the corner. That's his second strikeout. Now there's the designated hitter, Jeffers. He caught the first game. He's playing DH this game. 2-5, and, well, as soon as I said he might be out of it, look at this. 1-15 is a home run. That's gone. Ryan Jeffers, a 2-run home run. Look at it again, 1-15 on the 2-5, and that's a 6. So Jeffers is going to go deep. It is now 6-0, and that's going to about do it for Puck. They're going to try to get him through the inning, but the Marlins have the bullpen on high alert. And let's see who they're going to go to here in relief. They're going to, well, next inning they will go to George Soriano because he can pitch 2 innings. It's not very good, 1-1 with a 6.75, but he can give him innings. But they're going to have Puck pitch to Buxton and try to get out of this. He is tired, but they're going to try to get this final out. 3-7. Well, not yet. 1-8's a double. That's a 1. It'll be a double for Buxton. And now you got Jose Miranda. 4-7. That's a strikeout to end the inning. That's going to be all for Puck. He gives up 6 runs in 2 innings. They were all earned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He walked 1, and he struck out 3. And the new pitcher in the next inning will be Soriano. But that's all for Puck. He's out of there. The Marlins manager, Skip Schumacher, said, "Puckett, you're out of here." So here's Joe Ryan with a commanding lead of 6-0. So unfortunately, the second game is not going to be as close as the first game unless the Marlins make a huge rally. Here's Anderson, 3-2. It's ground ball to third, and Miranda is there. So Miranda reads Anderson his rights that he is out. 1 away for Nick Gordon. He did not play in the first game. 6-5, left-handed, ground ball shortstop X. That's Correa. He's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. We're checking the E10. E10 and a 13 for a shortstop. E10 and a 13. No 13, so it's good play for Correa. And that is now 7 in a row retired by Ryan. And now the number 9 hitter, Christian Bettencourt. 4-7, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Ryan, large and in charge. And we go to the bottom of the third. New pitcher is Soriano. he can relieve 2 innings, and that's what they're looking for, is some length to possibly, he might let him go 3 innings if he's effective, but might be wishful thinking too. All right, here is Farmer. 3-8, and that's a ground ball to third. Berger will take care of it, 1 away. And here's Vasquez. 3-6, and he pops it up to short, where Tim Anderson will field it, 2 down. And here's the veteran Carlos Santana. 3-10, and they grounds it to second. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Soriano. That's positive. That means they might get 3 innings out of him. And they need that to save their bullpen for the final game of the series. You don't wear the guys out in what might be a meaningless game. So here's Arias. He will lead off. He's singled. Only got a reach against Ryan. Then he got erased on a double play. 1-7, and he's going to single again. So Arias is the only one that can figure him out. Down 6-0. They're not going to send him or anything like that. Not even going to hold him. Here's Josh Bell. 3-2 for Bell. That's a fly to right field. Hauled in out there by Margot, and there's 1 away for Brian De La Cruz. Yes, Chuck, the puck stops here. You got that right. All right, here is 5-11, and that's a ballpark blast. It's 1-8, but that's a 13. Without if this was just advanced, that would have been a home run because it's an in-home run, but the ballpark overrides it. And it's an 8, and that's a 13. That's the kind of night it's been for the Marlins. They've lost 2 home runs now on ballpark blast checks that have come up empty. Here's Chisholm. He struck out his first chance. 6-9, and that's a strikeout there. He's going to strike out again. Liked it so much he did it again. And then we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 6-0. This is the fatigue inning for Soriano, so we're going to make sure he doesn't hit that level. Austin Martin, 5-9. It's a fly ball to center field. Chisholm is there, 1 away. And here's Manuel Margot. 2-8, and he's going to pop it up to second base, and standing there waiting for it is Arias, 2 down. So Soriano has been a breath of fresh air. 5 up, 5 down against Soriano. 1-10, and as soon as I say that, Correa gets a single. So Correa, a 2-out single. He will not be held. And here's Jeffers. He homered his last time up. 5-9, but he will fly to center this time. Chisholm puts it away. And they're going to let Soriano go 3 innings because he only gave up 1 hit. So he has some stamina still left, and they will let him go 3 innings to save that bullpen. Of course, he'll be unavailable in game 3, but they don't care. They want him now. So Jake Berger will lead things off. I'm sorry, he made the, let's see. Why is Jake Berger up there? That's the wrong team. That's why. It's supposed to be Byron Buxton. I grabbed the wrong stack. All right, Byron Buxton. Berger will lead off the next inning. Byron Buxton struck out and doubled. It's a 4-7 against Ryan. No, wait a minute. What am I doing here? We are in the 5th. I had the right guy up. I had Berger up to begin with. My bad. Going to keep the same roll because there's nothing wrong with the roll. 4-7's a strikeout. Strikeout number 5. Berger is out of there. Here is Sanchez. 6-9, left-handed. He strikes out. Strikeout number 6, and Ryan is just mowing him down left and right. Reminds me of another Ryan of yesteryear. Here's Anderson, 6-10. Ballpark blast for a home run, 1-8. That's a 6. Tim Anderson, though, has weak power against right-handers, so it's only going to be a single. So, again, the Marlins are thwarted on a possible home run because Anderson does not have the power. So he settles for a 2-out single. He could get a lead, but they're down 6-0, so not going to worry about it. Nick Gordon is your batter. They got bigger fish to fry, do the Marlins. And now my D20 wants to get away from me. All right, Nick Gordon. 4-9, and that's going to be a 1-8 single. That's an 11, so he will line it to second. Whoops, down here. Line it to second to end the inning. Let's fix this stray mark. I don't want to go back and look at this later and wonder what that was. So we go to the bottom of the fifth, and this will be the last inning for Soriano one way or the other. I'm not going to push him past 3 innings. He only pitched 29 innings the whole season, for goodness sake, so don't want to give, use up all his time here in one game. So Buxton is your batter. 3-4, and that's, look at this again. Byron Buxton, clean as a baby's bottom right there. Solid home run, all in caps. No D20 necessary. 3-4, Byron Buxton takes Soriano deep, and it is now 7-0 Twins. I don't think the Marlins recovered from losing the first game when they had it they thought they had it in the bag and couldn't hold on, and ended up losing in extra innings. My first time having the ghost runner. Won't be any ghost runners needed tonight. 3-6, and that's a ground ball to short. 1 away, and here comes Kyle Farmer. 5-6. Soriano, 1-14's a double. That's a 12. It'll be a double. And now he's approaching fatigue. We may have to pull him. We'll see. He's going to try to go one more batter. See what he does against Vasquez. 5-6. That's the same roll, 1-14, but that's an 18, so it's a fly to left for out number 2. And Carlos Santana, the batter. Santana. 2-10. 1-6 is a double. That's a 2. It's an RBI double for Santana. Another run is in. It's now 8-0. And I believe that's going to be it for Soriano. He went as far as he could go, and he just ran out of gas. So he will have to leave, and the Marlins will pick somebody else to try to ease the pain, so to speak. They will go with Andrew Nardi, a left-hander, trying to pick guys that did not pitch in game 1, trying to pick the freshest guys they have. So Nardi will be on. Soriano is going to go 2 2/3. He is going to give up 2 runs. They were earned. He is responsible for Santana, so it could be 3 runs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, no walks, and no strikeouts. All right, so it'll be Austin Martin to face Nardi. It is now 8-0, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. 4-7, right-handed, struck him out. So that's going to end the inning. We go to the top of the 6th. Still 8-0, or now 8-0 Twins. This is the final inning for Joe Ryan because I'm going to limit the starters to 6 innings. Dr. D, I'm probably going to just stick with this because it just took too long to do other stuff. And if I'm going to try to play all these games, I just don't have time to sit there and go through all that. So I may do it for special occasions, but for these games here, it's all manual writing. So just have to deal with my chicken scratch, that's all. All right, so Nick Gordon made the final out here, so it's going to be Bethancourt to lead off the top of the 6th against Ryan. It's a 2-5, and that is a 1 double. Anything else is a single. So it is a base hit for Bethancourt. And now Tabby is, oh, she just came in. Hold on, Tabby, hold on. Hold on, we got a delay here. She's making noise, and I don't know what she wants. I don't have a translator, so I just have to do what I think she wants to get back on this perch. Come here. I'll help you. Come here. There you go. All right, you sit there and you behave yourself. All right, so Arias is the batter. 1, so it's a wild pitch chance of a 3 for Ryan. That's a 2, so he has a wild pitch. And I may have already done the Havoc Raw forgot when Tabby interrupted me, but that's okay. All right, so Arias, 3-8. That is a fly to left. That's going to be out number 1. That'll bring up Josh Bell. 6-4, switch hitter batting left. Is a ground ball shortstop X. That is Correa, 1E10, so possibly could be a double play here. Whoops, it's dropped to D6. But since he's a 1, the double play chance is pretty good. But a 5 may take that away. I don't know. 1-5. That's still a G1, so he's still got a chance for a double play. That's a 6, and he is an E10. And that will be a double play by Correa. So Correa, I'm sorry, it's not a double play because the wild pitch prevented that. So it's just a 6-3 ground out. So without the wild pitch, it would have been a double play. Tabby, don't tell me you're going to get up here. We don't need a delay right now. We really don't. Tabby, let me finish the inning at least. All right, so De La Cruz. For 6, and that's a strikeout, and that's a good way for Joe Ryan to finish off his night. 7 strikeouts and 7 shutout innings, or 6 shutout innings for Joe Ryan. 7 strikeouts. He did not walk a batter, gave up no runs, and he only gave up 4 hits. So about as well as they could expect Joe Ryan to pitch, he pitched, and he was effective. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and Andrew Nardi will come back out and only faced 1 batter in the 5th, so he's good to go. And Margot is your leadoff man for the Twins. And all right, Tabby, hold on. Tabby, there you are. What do you got to say for yourself? Why are you interrupting our games? You didn't mean to interrupt the games? You just like to watch. Okay. All right, we'll allow it this time. Let me get this back where it needs to be. Not 100% where it needs to be, but I guess it's close enough. All right, here's Margot. 2-4 against the lefty Nardi is a ground ball to first. Taken by Bell, unassisted, 1 away. And here's Correa. He is homered and singled. 5-8 right-handed. 1-7's a triple. That's an 8. It's a double. Boy, he could have had a cycle chance there if he'd have gotten the triple. As it is, he gets a double, but he has to get a triple in his last at bat to get the cycle, and that may not happen. He may not even bat, depending on how far they get in the lineup, because they're only going to bat 8 times, not 9. So I guess I'm still going to be looking for my cycle. Here's Jeffers. 5-6. That is a strikeout. Strikeout number 2. And here is Buxton. He had a home run his last time up. He's doubled and homered, 2 for 3. That's a 2. Chance of a balk or pass ball. They're going to balk rating. Nardi has no balk rating, so we move on. 2-11 for Buxton is a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. So Nardi does very well. An inning and a third for Nardi. That's going to be it for Nardi. An inning and a third, striking out 2, giving up a hit and nothing else. So we go to the 7th. And the Twins winning a new pitcher. So we'll go to the bullpen for the Twins. And we'll pick somebody that did not pitch last time. And I think that will be... Well, there weren't many that didn't pitch because they used a lot of pitchers last time. But I don't believe Jorge, I don't have it in front of me, but I don't believe Jorge Alcala pitched. So we'll go with him. 4-3, 3.24 ERA and no saves. Jorge Alcala. Going to face Chisholm, Berger, and Sanchez, top of the 7th. That's a 1-5 for Chisholm, and he will strike out. One away. Tabby is on her blanket now on the floor resting, so hopefully she will stay there the rest of the game. Berger, 5-8, and that is a ground ball second base X. We are looking at Farmer, a 3E8. 3 and a 4, that might get through. In fact, I'm pretty sure it will. 3 and a 4 is a single. That's a 6, and he is an E8. I'm sorry, E8 and an 8. 8 and an 8. There is no 8 there, but it's going to be a base hit for Berger. He's aboard for Sanchez. Sanchez, 5-8, left-handed. Ground ball second base X. Farmer will get another chance. 2 and a 5. I'm sorry, a 3 and a 5. That's probably going to be a base hit again. 3 and a 5 is going to be a base hit again. It's an SI. I'm sorry. No, 3 and a 5 is a G3 pound, but he wasn't holding the runner on, so he will get the out. The only play will be to first base. Make sure there's no error. That's a 10 on the E8. So he does make the play. It's going to be a 4-3 ground out for out number 2, and Berger will take second base. So 2 down for Tim Anderson. 2-8 for Anderson, and that's a 1-7 single. That's a 20 though, so he will ground it to third, and that will end the inning. And they're going to probably let Akala go one more inning. Try to stretch him out a little bit. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch is upon us. I'm going to eschew any music and just keep playing because this is a doubleheader after all, and we want to get through this. So let's go to the Marlins bench, or bullpen rather, and they will go to, I think we're going to have to use guys that were used last time. We just don't have enough. I mean, we used all these pitchers in the last game. We have to do it again. So they will go with Birch Smith, right-hander. Birch Smith. And Smith, +2 hold, -2 betting court, so it's a 0. But I don't think with the score 8-0, that's a concern. Here is Miranda. Bottom of the 7th, Twins lead 8-0. 1-6 against the right-hander is a single. The hit parade continues for the Twins. Here's Kyle Farmer. And it could be a long season in the Demolition League for the Marlins. 4-2, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop A. That'll be a 6-4-3 double play. Now, the good news is the Marlins don't have to play the Phillies or the Mets or the Braves, but they don't get to play the Nationals either. So see how it all works out. 2 down for Christian Vasquez. 2-2, and that is a ground ball to first. It's going to be handled by Bell, and the inning's over. So we go to the 8th. It's still 8-0. Favor of the Twins. Alcala back out for his second inning of work, and he'll face Santana. I'm sorry, no. What am I doing? He'll face Nick Gordon. I get the right team out here, dummy. Nick Gordon, and we can use pinch hitters, but it's 8-0. Is it really worth using pinch hitters? I think not, except for the guy who they called up. So they want to get him an at bat. So Otto Lopez is going to get to bat against somebody. I just don't know who. He's going to pinch hit for somebody. Probably Arias. So I think they're going to let him. They're going to give Arias the rest of the night off because it's a lost cause anyway. So Otto Lopez will pinch hit, stay in the game, play second base. I know nothing about Otto Lopez, but on his season, he hit .270 with 6 home runs and 43 at bats, and he played second, short, third, left, and center. So he's like a Swiss Army knife. He will play second in this one, and he will help give Arias the rest of the night off. So here's Nick Gordon. 4-9, left-handed. Ground ball shortstop X, that's Correa. He's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. E10 and a 10, that's no problem. That'll be an easy play for Mr. Correa. So here's Betancourt. 6-6, right-handed. That's a 1-6 double. Bring it over here where you can see it. 6-10 is a, 6-6 is a 1-6 double. That's a 15. He flies to center, and that's 2 away. I'll move these cards over here where we can see them. And now here comes Otto Lopez. He will get the pinch hitting call. 2 out spaces clear. It's a 5-9, and he strike out. He's like, thanks a lot for letting me pinch hit like this. And he's going to go into second base in the 8th inning. Nothing doing for the Marlins. They have been shut out. That's it for Akala. He goes 2 innings. I'm not going to let him get a cheap save by pitching 3 innings. So that's not going to happen. Let's see. Bert Smith, he only faced 3 batters, so we'll let him go a 2nd inning. He will have to rest tomorrow or game 3 whenever it's played. Here's Santana. 6-4. Switch hitter batting left as they fly to center field X. That is Chisholm, rather. 3-4. 3-1, just what you needed. It was a 1 on the D20 when you're trying to get the game over. A 3-1 is a double. So a leadoff double for Santana. And that's an 8, and he is an E4. There is no 8. So Santana, a leadoff double. Brings up Austin Martin. And unlike inside pitch, when the game gets out of hand, you're still supposed to roll these havoc rolls no matter what. 1-7 is a pop out to third. I guess I could make it a homebrew and say if it's more than a 6-run difference or something in the late innings that you just skip the havoc roll. But you want to try to capture the wild pitches in the box and all that stuff. So here's Margot. 3-6 for Margot. And that's a 1-5 home run, but that's a 12, so he flies to right. And I said I was going to put the cards over here, didn't I? Okay. That way, because they're getting off the edge of the thing there. So here's Correa. Runner on second, 2 outs. Technically a clutch situation, but how can it be clutch when you're up 8-0 in the 8th inning? Kind of hard to justify that. 3-5, and that's a single 2 stars, and he justifies an RBI single for Correa. I was looking for the triple to get the cycle, but he ends up getting a single instead. So he goes 4 for 5. That's a pretty good night anyway. Drives in the run there. 9-0 now in favor of the Twins. The only good thing for the Marlins pitching staff is they don't have to pitch the 9th inning. So they save 1 inning of pitching on their bullpen. 3-4 for Jeffers is a ballpark single check, 1-11. That's a 13, so he will ground it to short to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Twins. But they take a commanding 9-0 lead into the top of the 9th, and they'll call on their bullpen, somebody in their bullpen, to finish off the ball game. And it's going to be, boy, who do they go to here? We'll go to Cole Sands, and he will not be available in the next game because this is his 2nd consecutive game. And, of course, you're not supposed to pitch relievers more than 2 games in a row. So, but they're out of pitch. I mean, they have to. They've used everybody that pitched last night. So they're going to have to pick somebody not to use. So Sands will not be available in game 3. So here's Bell against Sands. 3-11 for Bell. I keep thinking I'm supposed to get over here. 3-11 for Bell is a ground ball back to Sands, and that's 1 away. I'll do the numbers on Akala. Forgot to do his. He went 2 innings, gave up a single, nothing else, and 2 strikeouts. So nice outing for Akala. Here's Brian De La Cruz. 111, that's a ballpark blast. It's 1-8, that's a 10. That's a kind of nice spin for the Marlins. That's at least the third home run they've lost on the ballpark blast, where they couldn't get a low number on the Devil Die. So here's Chisholm, final chance, 5-4, and that's a walk. That's what they needed, was to extend the game with a walk. Jazz Chisholm is on first base with 2 outs. Here's Jake Berger. 2-7 for Berger. Struck him out, and that's the ball game. Twins win it 9-0. A far cry from the game that went extra innings in game 1. Sands a walk and a strikeout, nothing else. For the Twins, let's get the numbers on Birch Smith. He went 2 innings, so he'll be unavailable in the next game. Let's see here. He went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits and a run. No walks, no strikeouts. So for the Twins, 9 runs on 14 hits. And for the Marlins, it was no runs on 5 hits. And I don't think there were there any. There was 1 error on the Marlins on Berger. Nothing on the Twins. So there's your final line score: 9-14-0 for Minnesota. Ryan, the winner, he is now 1-0. Puck, the loser, he is 0-1. Marlins now dropped to 0-2. Forgot to write their record in. They're now 0-2. The Twins are 2-0, and Game 7 is in the books. Thank you for everybody who sat through this doubleheader with me. I don't know what caused me to want to do a doubleheader. It just hit me. And I was like, okay. I guess because I started an hour earlier than usual. And usually I'm finishing up my game at this time. But since Robert did not have a game tonight, I jumped on earlier, and so I had more time. So the doubleheader is complete, and I will change the title of the video. You have a great night, Jeffrey. Rest well, my friend. I will change the title to show a doubleheader. Probably won't be able to put a whole lot of other stuff in there. I'll just put doubleheader Demolition League, and probably won't even be able to include the teams. But of course, I got the thumbnail for the Pirates and the Yankees. So that was a good game. At least that one was first. At least people don't have to fight through this game to get to that game. They can see this game was over early and probably turn the video off early, those that are watching it later, which is fine by me. I'd probably do the same thing. So games 8, 9, and 10 are going to be on the left coast. We're going to have Kansas City at San Diego, Chicago at Los Angeles, and Toronto at Oakland. Those will be the final games of day 2 in the Demolition League to get 10 games in our belt, or under our belt. 10 games under our belt. 54 times 5 is 270. So if I'm going to play 54 games for all 10 teams, we are looking at 270 total games, 540 combined, and then teams play each other, so you cut it in half to make it 270. My goal is to get that done before I get my 2025 cards from Strat, which would be somewhere in the 3rd week of February. So we got a little bit more. We got about half of August, all September, all of October, all November, all December, all January, and about 3/4 of February. So I think I can do it, since I don't have any other major projects going other than 1987. And I'm just going to start piecemealing that a little bit, and mainly trying to focus on this, because the 87 project is not time sensitive where this one is. So I want to give precedence to this particular project. And another reason is because nobody else, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody else is playing the 2024 season Strat-O-Matic on YouTube. I don't think anybody's playing 24 season period on anything YouTube. So this might be the only place you get to see the 2024 season in action. I know other people playing 87 and seasons from the 80s and so forth. So maybe this is the outlier that makes it different. I don't know. I'm starting to get used to the players now. After a couple of games, I'm starting to get more familiar with these guys. So maybe by the time I play them about 10 times each, I'll start to really know these guys. but I'll have to watch some highlights on MLB and learn more about them as well. So thank you all once again for sitting through this doubleheader. First game, a very exciting game. The Pirates hold off the Yankees by the score of 4-3. But second game was over by the second inning, 6-0, and it ends up being 9-0. And the poor Marlins dropped to 0-2. Well, you pick a 100 loss team for your project, and this could be what happened. The reason why I picked them was they had so many cards, so many extra players. I said this league for them would be perfect because I can keep bringing up minor league guys, and if guys get injured, I got plenty of guys on the bench. And but it may not help. No matter who I bring up, might not help them at all. And it might get worse because later in this season, we're going to trade away Arias, Bell, and Chisholm. So they'll lose all three of those guys to other teams. And then you're basically playing a AAA team most of the time. Anyway, my voice is just about gone, as you can probably tell. I may play a game tomorrow in the morning. Jeff, if you're still here, I may watch to see if you come on in the morning or not. If I haven't seen anything by 9 o'clock, I'll probably throw something on at 9 o'clock. We're probably looking at who am I looking at? Probably Kansas City and San Diego. That's what I'm thinking the game will be. But we shall see. It might be Toronto or Oakland because that was the first game, and I haven't gone back to play them yet. So should either do the Dodgers and it's going to be the Dodgers and the Cubs. I just made that decision. It'll be the Dodgers and the Cubs tomorrow morning, either at 9 o'clock, or if Mr. Guterman has a game on, I'll wait till he finishes and jump on after him. If not, I'll jump on about roughly 9 o'clock and play the Dodgers and the Cubs, game 2 from Dodger Stadium. It'll be game number 8 in the Demolition League. So again, thank you all for, let's see, what are you saying here? Are you? Yes, Canadian, I'm playing every game. It may not be on you. I doubt I can play 270 games on stream, but I will play them all out and have the score sheets of the games that aren't shown on video. And but I do want to play the first series, the first 10 games to show each team twice. I do want to show each of those on stream just so everybody can see the players and kind of get used to things. And then after that, I'll probably pick like one game of the day on that calendar day to play on the live stream and play the other ones offline, and then do a recap at the end of that day and show what they're doing. And then once we play some games, we'll start showing some standings and so forth when it makes sense to do so. And also, it's too early right now, but what I'll do starting in the fourth game for each team, I'll start showing the rest rolls where we roll on the super advanced defensive chart to determine if players need to be rested. That's all part of that as well. But we're only the second game of the season for each team, so you don't need any rest, obviously. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm probably a little punchy from playing 2 games. Tabby's looking at me like I'm crazy. So I probably do need to get ready to wind this thing down and head to bed. But I had a lot of fun. I mean, the second game wasn't as fun, but the first game was very much fun. Really enjoyed it. And I do appreciate all you guys spending time on a Wednesday night checking out the 2024 Demolition League. I will update the title on this video so that we'll show a doubleheader. So people who check it out later will know there are 2 games involved. And I will also correct the spelling of Pittsburgh if I misspelled it. So no worries there. The thumbnail will stay the same, but I'll change the title to make it more appropriate. All right, till next time. I think Tabby's saying, Tabby's napping. I don't think she's saying anything. So she's leaving it to me to say, until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.